Hey, everybody. There you are. Man, we missed you. It's been a week.
We miss them.
Yeah.
Every week.
But here we are, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Nerd Cave show happening right now. Here I am. There you are. He's over there. And here comes the show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful heavy. I just lost that.
Heavy on the questionable.
Always heavy on the questionable.
Always,
every single time. Heavy on the questionable. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? We've got quite a bit to talk about. I'm going to be a little bit off tonight. I do apologize. It has been I've been tired the past couple of days, and there's been a lot of stuff going on at the office, so I'm kind of, you've got a whole bunch going on, and your nerves are just that slight edged of tinged. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm going to power through it. But if you guys think I'm a little bit off, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Handshaking and everything. It's kind of been, it's becoming one of those weeks. So I'm already looking. You know what it's like? You're sitting there like, man, I can't wait till Friday, and you're still on Monday.
It's Monday afternoon and you're already done with that entire week.
yeah, man. It goes, that's been the week for me too. Yeah, no, it really has. A lot of good things been going on. I did want to show this. Those of you guys who have been following me on social media, which is pretty much all of them, I posted this picture of these guys, these little fittings, and I was like, new items that came with for the liquor server. And yes, that is a project I am still working on. I said a long time ago this was going to be like a 2-year project, because as the beard can contest, it's turning into quite the project.
It's a monster. It's a huge thing, but it's going to be fun.
It's awesome. I've already got a bunch of hard drives sitting over there. I'm going to probably be ordering some more. I've got several RAID cards. I got the actual hardware. I've got 2 radiators sitting there, like monstrous radiators. And these right here, I want to. Those guys were curious. I had a few people ask them what they were. These are G-quarter thread fittings to where you can adapt them. So when you're using liquid cooling, pretty much everything is set up for quarter inch G-quarter. So these are so if you have like what we call a bulkhead or a motherboard, a back plate, you're drilling a hole, you can put these in, and you can adapt. You can put your fittings here and pass through. I'm hoping, literally, I'm hoping. I'm not going to say what these are exactly for, But one of my projects is adapting some stuff to the liquid cooling. And that's why I don't even know if these are going to work. They're really, really solid fittings.
It's a very experimental project. I mean, there's a lot of things that...
That's literally... It's.
I at least I haven't seen them done before. So
It's one of those... I keep buying things like, I think it'll work.
Sometimes that's all you got to do.
AudioCraZ's got a bunch of random little baggies of hardware showing up at the work. And people are saying, what's it for? Oh, my liquor cabinet. Exactly.
Yeah.
Amanda says she wants to comment. Go ahead, Amanda.
Yes.
Go ahead and comment in the chat. We're gonna keep talking because can't have dead air. But go ahead. Amanda had some big news she was going to talk to us about.
Yes, she was involved in a project.
We are currently working on getting people to be able to be on the show audio-wise via either Skype or Discord. I am working on that. I've had a few people hit me up about that. Yes, I am working on it. Unfortunately, as anybody who knows me, I cannot do... Stop with that look. Anybody that knows me, I cannot do things simply. I have worked on stage. I work in broadcast. Nothing I do is simple. Don't give me that look. So when people have asked me, like a lot of other people when they do streaming, they're like, oh, I just install software on my computer, I'm good to go. And I'm like, I can't do that here because I have a dedicated computer, but all my audio goes through a mixer. And then, how do I get audio from one device where everybody can hear it? So I'd say I've got 80% of everything I need to do to get it working, but I still need a couple of pieces of hardware that I have to purchase in order to make it all happen. The reason being is we've tried it before. It was about 2 years ago. We did it, and I've been accumulating hardware. If anybody remembers, it was the Jacked In episode with we were doing the. It was a last minute. And it was thrown at us that he couldn't be there, but he wanted to Skype in, so I kind of tossed it together at the last minute, and it was for the Bakersfield Collector Con.
Yep.
And what many people don't realize is only two of us can hear him talk. Everybody else was kind of sitting there. Yeah, yeah, and it was because
funny. Actually, I remember that. That was one of the ones that could hear.
Me personally, as with what I do, I was upset that I couldn't accommodate everybody. But it was thrown at me at the last minute. I cobbled it all together as quick. I literally was thrown at me, and it was like 5 minutes up. My nerves were frazzled whenever we got started, which is actually pretty common for me.
It's normal.
And so only two of us out of the five of us that were on could even hear him.
Yep.
So, and there was really not a whole lot I can do about it. I did my best with what I had, doing stuff at the last minute. I've since kind of canceled it or tabled the idea I've picked up a few pieces here and there. I've got a headphone amp. I've got a few other things. I'm missing a few last few pieces to make it all work. And I know I've babbled on a little bit more for this. This is what I do.
You think this
Follow
is bad?
Along.
This is nothing.
The happy juice is flowing. Oh, tonight's apple juice. We're going back to the root beer whiskey because, my nerves needed root beer. Nom, nom.
All right, so I'm going to read Amanda's announcement for those of our listeners. She says, I was in a music video. I got to play a nun in an exorcism scene for a rapper. She said it was a lot of fun. She got to go to an actual set, and she got paid for it. That's always a good thing.
Nice.
You always want to get paid for your work whenever possible.
Got it done in 2 takes.
Got it done in 2 takes. That's pretty good. I mean, really. I've been on sets before, and 2 takes is like unheard of. The video was about the ghost of an ex-girlfriend haunting the rapper and him getting an exorcism performed on him. Okay, so when it comes out, she'll tell us the name of it, but she can't disclose the information right now because it's probably still in
It's in development. She's probably under NDA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and we're very familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm very, very familiar with those. Those happen all the time in the entertainment industry. So, definitely as soon as it comes out, let us know. I'm assuming they're going to publish the video on YouTube, so we'll definitely all get a chance to see it. So,
yeah.
Congrats, Lady Duke. I'm glad to hear you got to do a gig where you got paid. It wasn't.
That's great.
I mean, community stuff is
congratulations,
great.
Amanda.
But getting paid for your passion, that's
it takes it to a whole new level. Once you get that first paycheck for doing what you love doing, it's like
Exactly.
It's like the first time, you're just addicted to it. You want to do it more, and you get sad when you can't do it anymore.
So what was there? What else were we going to talk about?
We were going to talk about.
I think we just need to go. The Witcher.
The Witcher, yes.
So this just hit me, and I honestly haven't got I haven't done an exceptional amount of reading, but I mean, who needs to? Netflix has announced that they are doing a spin-off,
yes,
a prequel of The Witcher, and it's going to be called Witcher Blood Origin.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be a limited series. What is it, like a 6-part live-action limited series, and it's going to be a prequel. It's going to be set 1,200 years before the current Witcher series.
Yes. This is going back to the origin of Witchers. So that's going to be really interesting.
And the whole point is going to be, let's see here, it's going to be in, the pivotal conjunction of spheres. Wow, rented lips. When the world of monsters, men, and elves merge to become one. Declan Dabera will act as executive producer and showrunner, and Lauren Schmidt Hesrich will act as executive producer. Wow, that name I can't say. Andres, and I butcher names.
I'm guessing Andres.
I apologize.
Andres Sapkowski
will serve as creative consultant on the series. Jason Brown and Sean Danzel from Hive Mind and Tomek Vesky and Jerisky from Patriots Films will serve as executive producers. There was I printed it out and I left it on the printer. The tweet. Basically, another thing I put out, she goes, I can't hold this in anymore.
Oh, yeah, this was the secret that she hated keeping.
She kept the secret and she tweeted about it. So I've got a link down below. If you guys want to click on it, you can check out the link in the notes to her tweet. Basically, she's like, yes, we're going to do this, which is, I'm totally excited. From Declan Dabera, his quote is, as a lifelong fan of fantasy, I am beyond excited to tell the story of The Witcher, The Blood Origin. A question has been burning my mind ever since I first read The Witcher books. What was the elven world really like before the cataclysmic arrival of the humans? I've always been fascinated by the rise and fall of civilizations, how science, discovery, and culture flourish right before that fall. How vast swaths of knowledge are lost forever in such a short time. Often compounded by colonization and rewriting of history, leaving only fragments of a civilization's true story behind. The Witcher Blood Origin will tell the tale of the elven civilization before its fall, and most importantly, reveal the forgotten history of the very first Witcher.
That is exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really awesome. Lauren's tweet was, I am so thrilled to collaborate with Declan and the Netflix team on The Witcher, her quote was, it's an exciting challenge to explore and expand the Witcher universe created by Andrzej Sapkowski, and we can't wait to introduce fans to new characters and original story that enrich our magical, mythical world even more. Yeah, so it's really awesome that they're working on this. I'm really happy Netflix is diving a little bit deeper. I think it's good that they're only going to do a 6-part because it's basically just going to lead up and then explain the very first Witcher.
Yeah.
Which, in all honesty, you are going to be able to spin off even more because there's already, if you play the games or read any of the books, you're going to find that there's tidbits of knowledge from, Witcher's past. And so that's even more content that they can go dive into. That's more stuff that they can really dig into.
That they can explore.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad Netflix is going to expand upon it. I'm really happy to see it. So I'm looking forward to this. And I can't remember when they said it was going to come out. I think it's 2022.
I believe so.
2022, I believe. I don't have any notes here about it,
but it's going to be filming in the UK, so they're going to have some. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that stuff.
I don't understand why it's got to be in the UK. I mean, Henry Cavill's not going to be a part of this one. We don't have to stay there for him,
right?
No, I love Henry Cavill. He's absolutely awesome. Superman's awesome. That's all I'm going to say. Superman's awesome.
Yeah. Amanda says, "Yay, spinoff! Going back 1,200 years. That's going to be good. Some good news in these times. Yeah, especially on the production end of things. Yeah."
Yeah, now you spend zennies to
read all the books. Yes, I'm with you there, Amanda.
I can't do it because that's far more content. Get off me. Far more content than I really need to dive into. So, honestly, I'm really looking forward to what season 2 of The Witcher is going to be too. I've been thoroughly excited looking for that.
And that's another thing I'm kind of curious about is this just going to be a prequel, or is this going to have anything to do with, the season 2 or what's going to happen later in the show? Because you never know.
I doubt they're going to tie in. I got a feeling they're going to keep the 2 shows 100% separate. If anything, Witcher 2 may drop a few little, knowledge nuggets here and there, talking about, little history, like, the original Witcher or something like that. But I got a feeling Geralt's not going to really know any of that because he barely has that information. I'm pretty sure what I'd like to see was, I don't want to get too far into it. Like I can sit here and go on and on and on.
Amanda asks if we saw the video of him building his PC.
I saw parts and pieces of it.
Which parts and pieces?
Really? Him snuggling his video card. But,
so stuff that you usually do.
Yeah, pretty much. I usually fondle it. I'm a little bit more loving, creepy. That's the kind of the 2 terms that are commonly used when I'm grabbing hardware.
He's not lying. He's telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Believe him. Crazy Iris says it's the greatest thing ever.
It is. Honestly, it's hilarious. Like I applaud him for building his own computer. It was the first one I think he's built himself. But he's been a PC gamer for years. I mean, he was the ideal choice for playing The Witcher. The reason being is he already knew all the material. If anybody wants to know how well versed he was, please understand he had already read all the books and he had already played through all of the games before he got the role. Like, it wasn't something he did to brush up. No, he had already spent several years through all the content. So when it came time to play the role, he was like, I know this.
Yeah. I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. No, honestly. And he was one of those things that he was like, yeah, I played all the games on. What's funny was this, I knew long time ago. If anybody doesn't know, not only did he enjoys those story-driven type games. So he plays The Witcher. He's a World of Warcraft player. It was at one point in time. So he really likes MMORPGs.
Yep.
True story. If anybody want to know about Henry Cavill, he almost missed the audition for. I believe he almost missed the audition for Superman because he was rating. But he still got it because he's Henry Cavill. So I mean, he did, I mean, Superman. Look.
Amanda says he also likes Warhammer 40,000 too.
Oh, I believe that because that's one of those. Honestly, I find it interesting because the ideology or the premise behind each one is totally different. But I can see the whole. But all of them are very imagery, very story driven. So I can kind of see it. But yeah. Warhammer 40K is another one I know a few people that are into, and mostly it's because they get sucked into seeing the Space Marines. Very, very zealot-like nature. And I played a lot of the games. I think they're really cool. I just never got sucked into them. Mm-hmm. I've tried.
I've never played the Warhammer games.
I think you'd enjoy them. Because it's very... You would notice, like, the whole point of being a Space Marine is very, very zealotry religion. Okay. Like, if you ever play it... everything is for the Emperor, even though none of them have honestly ever seen the Emperor or heard the Emperor. Their entire lives are devoted to them.
Nice. Okay.
And
game-wise, that's great.
It really is. Well, here's the thing: Warhammer originally started off as Warhammer 40K was a figure tabletop game, and then eventually broke off into card games and CCGs and PC games and console games and stuff like that. But the origins of it The reason why it has such a depth and story to it is because it originally started off as minifigures and I believe role-playing games.
Okay.
Like role-playing adventures you can do, like kind of like D&D and Palladium.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's one of those. Let's see here,
Very
Manaduke. You also play a lot of pay a lot to build and paint the figures. This is a whole lot to get.
That is a whole not easily to get.
It is not. I have friends of mine that have dedicated years to painting their minifigures. They're not minifigures. Sorry. The Warhammer figures. Like when you get them, they're just pewter. You have to glue a lot of the parts together.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you play. That was originally how you played. You had to buy the figures, then you had to go through and paint them. And we're not talking just the figures, the tanks, the Ultramarines, the other factions, the Orcs, all of them. And you had to build. You had to go through, buy, paint, put together armies, then the sheets to go with them, and then you sat there for several days playing a game. I couldn't do it. I was weak. I wasn't strong enough to do it. I'm going to tell you. I've seen people do it. There are stronger people out there than me that can do this kind of stuff. I can't.
Well, see, I've actually just gotten involved in that. Some friends of mine have started. We started using Zoom for D&D, and I've started.
Oh, rock on!
I've ordered some miniature, not characters, not figures, but terrain settings and like walls and floor pieces for dungeons and whatnot. So I'm going to start putting those together and taking some pictures and whatnot and having some fun with it. But yeah, I understand. It's a hole that you start to fall into quickly.
Oh, you don't fall into. You dive into that hole. It's a pit. There is no bottom. You just keep buying things until hopefully something will start leveling, but it never happens. Because something comes out and you go, ooh. Every freaking time. That's why I never got into it.
Right now I'm waiting on a cemetery set, headstones with a mausoleum and 2 statues, and another dungeon set.
Yeah, she goes, I'm impressed by my boyfriend's fully tiered alien army. Saw him play a few games. Average time is 6 hours for a full game.
Yep.
I've seen him go longer. But 6 hours is pretty common. And that's some serious dedication.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that you got to dedicate, they usually have to put together 4 to 6 folding tables together, lay out the boards. Like, we're not just talking minifigures. They got to have the terrain boards. They got to have all the the whole 9 yards. And they got the measuring sticks to make sure. It's impressive. It really is. So.
You just wait, because that I've already shown you guys the pictures of the resin stuff that I've started. What I haven't shown you is the other stuff, the gaming stuff that we're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a whole different thing, because we're going to try to get involved in selling some pieces also. So, we've got a whole molding set and we've got the pouring set and everything. It's insane.
Rock on.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, I think it's Cave Jam time.
Cave Jam.
And I had notes on this, and I think I lost them.
I did not see notes.
I forgot my notes.
Well, you know what? Let's just
go ahead and
talk
post the
about
link.
Because that is.
Do me a favor, post a link, and I can pull it up there. Tonight's Cave Jam. Now, last week, if you guys remember, we need to go with the Cave Jam deal. Last week, we talked about these. These are my DT770 Beyerdynamic headphones, and I had mentioned that you need a decent sound card, or at least something that can handle the 250 ohm load. Here they are right here. So I want to talk to you about how you can do it for the least amount of money. This is the Creative Labs Sound Blaster Audigy FX sound card. Currently, these are $45 on Amazon. Click the link, you'll find it. This is for people that have any kind of system. If you're one of those that have like the Dell Mini systems where you can only put I call them half-height cards. They're not really half-height, so they're the shorter cards. This comes with a bracket where you can swap it out and mount this into a shorter one. It comes with a standard height, so you can mount it in standard cases. The best part of all is this sound card will handle up to a 600 ohm headset. For $50, that's pretty good. Now, this isn't by far the best. I am looking at upgrading beyond this, but this was good enough to get going and to be able to hear it. Now, a lot of you are like, is there much of a difference between, running a standard audio card and a basic pair of headset? I did a test last week after the show, and I wanted to test somebody who was not an audiophile, who loves music and stuff like that, but I wanted to test somebody. I don't know. Basically what happened was I set Beard by my computer, and I went through and played a handful of 24-bit, 192 or better, 24-bit, 24-bit up to 192 kilobits FLAC files. Now, I want the Beard to kind of talk about his experience. What was your impression of that?
How do you compare that type of quality? How can I explain it? Okay.
Let me do this. Before we get, let me explain to you this. Before he gets into it, and I hate to interrupt, but I wanted to. This is the thing that happened that kind of explains where he's going. I want you to understand this. He put the headphones on and immediately closed his eyes and tilted his head back. Understand, you do that when you need to close your eyes and engross yourself. So go ahead and continue on. I wanted to get that out there, like that, and it was instinctive. He did it I didn't tell him to. He just, as soon as you put the headphones, I was like, listen to this. He closed his eyes, leaned his head back, and it was just taking it in. The
angels began to sing. The choirs. It's like, it's the kind of quality sitting in your living room. You put the headphones on, you turn the lights off, you turn the music up loud, and it sounds like you're in the studio listening to these bands record this stuff. And no lie, that is what it sounds like. Take the song "Money" by Pink Floyd.
Oh, that was one of the files. That's a good one. I always have to play that one.
It's like the opening to the song. You hear ching, you hear the change dropping, the receipt tearing. You can hear the paper tearing. Now, you might be thinking, hear the paper tearing, big deal. When you're listening to it on the headphones and you know that it was recorded who knows how many years ago, and it still sounds like you're standing next to somebody who's tearing that receipt, dropping that change, and it's amazing quality. You haven't listened to music at home yet until you've listened to it like that. My opinion.
It's also the fact that when you're sitting there listening, anybody wants to know why audiophiles do this, it's because we want to hear what you normally don't hear.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, every artist that makes music, there are little subtle things they put in there. So whenever we were listening to, Tool?
Yeah.
And you can before you just heard these little sounds behind you, you put the headphones on. I'm trying to remember which song it was. And that's a voice. But they buried it so below that it just blended in. But on the headphones, you can hear it. You're like, oh, wow. That's like the difference is whenever you're listening with a high resolution, the 250 or 300 or 600 ohm headphones, you are able to hear the details you normally can't.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of details that artists purposely put in their music that most people don't hear.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what we're chasing. It's like you can hear them. Like most people know when you can kind of hear when they're moving, but when you hear the fingers glide along the strings, or you can hear the specific tone change in someone's voice more clearly. That's just the whole point. It's like you're listening to the song all over again.
For the first time, literally. Yeah.
You really
That's
are.
what it feels like. Yeah. That's exactly how it is. It's like you're experiencing it. You're familiar with the sound. You're familiar with the song, but you're listening to it. Like I said, you can literally close your eyes and imagine being in the studio while Roger Waters is singing, or Elvis Presley, or whoever it is that you really love listening to. If you have the means, invest in equipment like this so that you can really appreciate your music that much more.
And this here is a $200. It's as cheap as you can get to, because like I know people. One of the guys at work was trying to get me buy his headphone amplifier, and the headphone amplifier alone was $200. And then I would have had to get the USB DAC, which was an additional $150. It was a rabbit hole I wasn't going to go down at this point in time. My current money pit right now is my kids, as always, and my new the liquor server. So those are currently my two money pits. I didn't need to get any more, but using these headphones and this sound card. And I'm going to say this, those of you who are gamers, I'm telling you, if you're a gamer, you definitely want to invest in a good pair of quality headphones running 80 ohms, 250 ohms. The reason being is you being able to clearly hear the difference between someone walking or changing ammo clips or just anything. Like the difference is night and day. And there's a reason why top gamers will still use high-end sound cards and high-end headphones, because they know that, yes, you need high refresh rate, you need a high-end monitor, you need a high-end graphics card, but you got to also have the sound card and a good pair of headphones to really, really hear the difference in tones and the different sounds and how far, because believe it or not, a good quality pair of headphones, you can hear those footsteps from a person from a further distance than you can with a lower end quality. That's why some of those gamers can really hear when people are coming up. They can also hear the difference where somebody is. They're running higher end equipment. And honestly, for $50, that gets you to that point. So if you're an audiophile, this is a good starting point. I'm looking at upgrading. That's another money pit, but I'm doing that. I'm currently, like I said, this is the AudioCraZ FX. This is the lowest end that they make that'll get you to that point. And I strongly advise it. Getting some nice 24-bit or some Tidal account, you'll notice a difference.
Amanda, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What was that?
Amanda just said, I appreciate you for finding these gems to help us tech-challenged souls in a world full of confusing tech lingo and formats. Gives us good options that fit our budgets.
Yeah.
See, that's what we're doing. We're just trying to provide a service.
Exactly. And here's the thing. This is the Sound Blasters are one of the few ones that'll handle up to a 600 ohm headset by itself. So most onboard sound cards, you're lucky if you can even plug a 64 ohm in. Typically, the most onboard audio will mostly handle 32 ohm. $50 will get you up to 600 ohm. You can buy at 250 ohm. You can get higher, but I think 250 ohm is right around the best price performance, especially when you're doing it just for gaming. But these are also exceptionally comfortable. These are like really, really like those fluffy pillows on your ears.
Those are headphones that you can fall asleep while you're listening to music to.
Exactly.
I mean, you can see
depending
these.
Upon the level,
the little. This is kind of comfy. No, those are even more comfy. These suck compared to those. Not really, but
But yeah, click on the link below. Like I said, these are $55. If you've got a full size one, you can get the other one that's only like $70. But this is the base level you can get, and this will fit into any system that'll accept a PCI Express card, whether it's one of the shallow depths cards for some of the pre-built HPs and Dells. I strongly advise always. A lot of people are like, well, my computer has onboard, but they're always limited. You got to remember, you don't get a $100 motherboard with a ton of great features. They had to sacrifice somewhere. The Realtek audio chips are great, but they're budget friendly. When you need to step up, you got to step up to something a little bit better. The Sound Blaster AudioCraZ FX is a great starting point. That honestly is it's the best starting point. I'm already looking at the R5, I think it is, which is the $120 model. And the reason being is it has discrete amplifier for the headphones and biamp for the headphones, and will handle 32-bit. And yeah, it's more juicy, yum stuff for silly people like me.
Now, if you heard how excited he got, this is usually the point in the studio that I get nervous, because sometimes the equipment fondling starts and I try to, sneak out.
Well, right now, look, the actual hardware, I can touch the box. But the actual sound card is sitting in my computer right now, so I don't have a picture of it. It's like it's already in the computer and I'm not pulling it out. Not yet, anyway. All right, I think it's time to move on. We've kind of babbled on this a little bit. So now it's time to get to the, where are we at? Nintendo Giga Leaks?
Nintendo Giga Leaks.
Oh, man. If you guys haven't heard, what was like about a month ago, I think, there was a huge data dump that got dropped. And the bulk of it was like source code and schematics for like the Nintendo 64 and the Super Nintendo. And what makes those important was this was information nobody had, and now that all the modders have it, they actually have exact information on the hardware to A, do a direct emulation, B, they can reverse engineer the hardware. Actually, they don't even have to reverse engineer the hardware anymore. Now they actually have all the schematics, exactly what's going on. Which, on one side, it's going to suck because it's going to be able to make people are going to be able to make clones now really easy, like exact clones. But I see this as a kind of a win. I know Nintendo's not happy about it, but I do see it kind of a win because some manufacturers, I mean, they'll get sued like crazy from Nintendo, but if companies can somehow make replacement components for these old consoles to keep them working, I would be happy about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of retro gamers would.
Yeah. So, here recently, we have had another data dump. This one focused more on unreleased games, assets, like original content for the games that were never released. We're talking levels that were designed for Super Mario 64 or the original test stuff for Mario Kart that was based off of basically they just took assets from another game and started designing. And then eventually it all got revamped into its own thing.
Yeah.
A lot of alpha work, and what's worse is we found one of the reasons we found out how Star Fox, and I didn't post up anyone, but there was internal struggles with the development team, with internal drama, which was what affected Star Fox 2.
Oh, no.
So it's believed, because part of it, and I don't like the idea that these got dropped, because that's really not stuff we need to see.
Mm-hmm.
All companies have internal
that
drama.
Kind of stuff. Yeah, that's not necessary.
But I forgot to write down my list. But there's so many really awesome things that got released. Let's see here. What was some of them? Let's see here. Let's see. Super Mario 64, Yoshi's Island, Ocarina of Time, and a bunch of other titles. Basically, a bunch of their prototypes got released. This stuff shouldn't have come out. There's no reason for the prototypes, but it did. What's one of the first things on the list?
The first thing on the list is Bowser.
Oh, all right. So one of the deals that got dropped, and it's kind of hilarious, is one of the assets of Bowser, and we actually get to see that Bowser has feet. You can see the picture right there, from the game. Yeah, look at that. He's got some claws.
He's got some tootsies.
But yeah, on the original game, he actually had a sprite from some of the original assets where he had feet. I guess eventually they took it out for space. But yeah, he had some feet.
Bowser's feet.
What was the next one?
Yoshi.
Oh, okay. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened with Yoshi. One of them was we finally got. Now, I think this is kind of cool going back and seeing the evolution from the original design to how they got to him. And if you guys want to look, he looked more dinosaur than anything else. So this is the evolution of Yoshi. And you can see how he was really on a diet when he started. And he got a little bit bigger. He got shoes. That's the most important part. Yoshi got shoes eventually. Then he got big shoes. But look at him. He He was really done. He always had the little the what do you call that? A seat?
The saddle.
The saddle. One of the other video clips is bad. One of some of the original assets of not the first one, but when he was still more dinosaur looking. Like a lot of people have been wondering, Mario puts his hand up like this, but they were like, it kind of looks like he was punching him. And honestly, and I don't have it. I didn't pull it. I didn't want to post it or anything. But Mario in the original assets was punching Yoshi in the back of the head for him to spit his tongue out. And I'm glad they took that out because that's pretty freaking gruesome. But yeah.
Yeah. Amanda asks or says it could be of interest to budding game developers to see the development process, but were these released illegally?
They were. These were. Here's what's going on with it. The Nintendo originally, or no, a lot of people have asked for Nintendo's response. Nintendo has not replied to anything.
So we don't know for sure. We assume.
Some of the belief is that I'm pretty sure they've got full legal. They're being hushed because they've got the full legal team involved. And so as long as that's engaged, they're not saying a word.
Oh, yeah. NDAs all over the place.
So what they're trying to do, and here's the thing, a lot of people are curious on, is this even legit? Well, there's been a little bit of speculation on whether this data dump is legit. And here's the thing. There's a couple of things that point to the fact that this is legitimate. One, the massive amount. For someone to go through and write up that much source code on that many files, create all these images, we're talking, I don't know exactly how much. When they say giga, I'm assuming there's about a gig to several gigs worth of data here. To spend the time to go through and create up that much, to create this much fictional information is virtually impossible. Because they would have to reverse engineer, then write everything. Here's the other thing. There is one thing that kind of proves that point. Dalen, who is one of the original writers from Star Fox 2, tweeted because there was a little utility that got released. And he tweeted, he goes, go ahead and post it up. He goes, WTF, I haven't seen this tool I made for Star Fox 2 for almost 30 years. I wrote it in early C++ to teach myself the language more than anything else. Where the hell have the hackers got all this obscure data from? So he said that he wrote it 30 years ago. This kind of leans towards this, and the fact he's saying it's hackers. Yeah, this wasn't intentionally. So far from what I've been able to read and what I've been able to find, one of the companies that works with Nintendo, and there's one company, I'm not going to say who it is, plus I'm not really remembering who it is at this time. I said it last year. They had gotten hacked. But not only got hacked, they basically didn't know they had gotten hacked, and somebody was sitting there and just siphoning off data from them for quite a bit of time. Somehow they got to their archive server and just proceeded to just yank data off of their servers. Some internal server probably didn't have little to no security on it, and needless to say, this is what happened. So, yeah. As far as we can tell, this is all legitimate. Speaking of Star Fox 2, what was the ones we had for Star Fox 2? One was the female, or one of the original ideas for, I think it was Star Fox or Star Fox 2, was we were going to have humans.
Star Fox 2.
Yeah, check this out.
That's
bottom left-hand corner. There is a female human. That was one of the original sprites, and for some reason, they got scrapped. I'm pretty sure they wanted to stick to all, anamorphic?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Characters, which I can kind of understand that.
Yeah,
I can kind of understand that.
A human could have been interesting, though. Could have thrown in, But, yeah.
What was the other one? Was there another one for Star Fox?
No.
The other one was Luigi, right?
We've got Luigi. We got two Luigis and a Grandpa Yoshi.
Oh, going back to Yoshi, yeah. At some point in time, somebody had worked on, and maybe this was something in the story. There was a Grandpa Yoshi. Look at that beard.
I know, right? I'm jealous.
He's got the cane and the whole 9 yards.
The bushy eyebrows.
Grandpa Yoshi shouldn't have the saddle anymore, or the saddle, because we don't want Grandpa Yoshi to hurt his back.
No, we don't, or his knees.
True. I mean, look at his shoes. His feet are all flattened out.
Right.
Yoshi's seen some miles. Grandpa Yoshi's seen some miles.
Yeah, he's probably carried a few Marios.
Going back to, let's go all the way back to one of the original assets. And I think this is from Super Mario Brothers or one of the Super Mario Brothers.
N64, it looks like.
No.
That one.
Yeah,
okay.
that one.
Yeah,
there was an original
one.
asset, and I can understand why it got removed.
But this is awesome.
But there was an asset of Luigi flipping us all off. There he is, right there in the asset table. Look at him. Oh, Luigi, you little...
Anthropomorphic, Amanda says.
Oh, thank you.
Don't do what that Sonic game did with an anime human girl heroine. The results, in my opinion, were kind of cringy.
Yeah, a lot of them are cringy.
Yeah. But Luigi flipping the bird, I mean...
I kind of like it.
I kind of want that as a tattoo.
You game modders, I expect him being added back in. You've got the assets. I want Luigi flipping me off every time I send him off a cliff. I'm just saying.
That's perfect. That is awesome. Because Luigi, man, he always got the
he did.
Of the stick.
Well, he got the shaft in Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, they had worked on Luigi for Mario 64. Had a full model in the whole 9 yards, and he was scrapped. What is believed on that was Luigi was originally set up for the multiplayer mode that was kind of an idea and then scrapped, or maybe it was you can play through the game as Mario or as Luigi, but probably due to space constraints or some kind of a production limitation. Plus, it's Luigi. I mean, if you're going to play through Mario, playing through Luigi is kind of the same thing unless you give him some new shtick. I wouldn't be surprised. It's either A, they eliminate him because the play through the game as one character, you're playing through him as another, it's just a different model. But if it was going to be for multiplayer, I can understand they eliminated it. So, what else we got?
Was
that about the game?
Yep, that was it.
Okay. There was still, like I said, there was also somebody released on YouTube. One of the assets for Yoshi's Island was some kind of pilot suit known as Super Donkey.
Super Donkey.
Super Donkey.
I'd love to get my eyes on that.
Let's see here. Manadoog, he's at least ghost harasser. I mean Buster.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
honestly, I
think
still
they
need to play that game.
It's not bad. I've
and
played
I'm kind of
it
glad. Yeah, every now and then they kind of suck it up and give Luigi his own game, which he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves.
Absolutely.
I mean, he can run better. He doesn't have quite the pasta belly like Mario does.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Some of the Star Fox 2 original work that got released. Jeez, what else? There is so much. The problem is we're barely scratching the surface on everything that basically got dumped. There's so much.
I'm curious to see what else is going to come up.
I'm afraid that those guys are like limiting. They're releasing stuff in short spurts. Like here's a chunk. Mm-hmm. They've already yanked it. They're all sitting on it, and they're just basically kind of sorting it out.
Yeah.
And then they're dumping. They're setting it off. I know the first leak was very damning because all the hardware specs on the basically anybody wants to write their own games. They have all the information to write their own carts without needing any of the software. If they need to modify the hardware, they've got all the information to make it happen. Which I think at this point it's not that big of a deal, but it's still kind of the company that was working with Nintendo should have never released that. Should have had better security on that information.
Yeah.
The only thing, it's either A, they got hacked, or B, they were throwing out a server. Somebody got a hold of it and did a complete data dump on it, which happens more often than you guys think.
Oh, yeah.
This happens way too often. It's kind of interesting. Let me see here where we at. All right, we're doing good. I'm curious if they're going to be released anymore. Nintendo's being completely tight-lipped about it. Oh, there was another thing. Nintendo was planning a new version of the game designed basically after Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. They actually started. There was alpha work on the Nintendo 64DD peripheral that never got released. All the source code and the alpha assets got released for that as well. So there's going to be a couple of archive people who actually have the 64DD. They're going to be working on that stuff. Probably not finishing it, but at least making a working version of what was done.
Yeah, well, there's a new prototype build of the game, and it appears to contain new rooms.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Well, the thing is there wasn't a whole lot released on that. I mean, but they had to do it... Once they had the hardware done, then they were having guys write software for it to demo it. Mm-hmm. And to demo it to the exec. So there had to be a handful of games already ready to go, and they've already found quite a few of them. So, we'll see. But yeah, the Giga Leak is really interesting. I'm at the mind of I want to get a hold of it and check it out, but I don't want to get a hold of it and check it out because I don't want Nintendo coming knocking on my door because I don't want to lose my toys.
The only time I want Nintendo knocking on my door is when they're bringing me things.
And they don't do that.
Mm-mm.
They don't. They just send people over to take your things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, that's the Nintendo Giga Leak. I'm going to be early interested in what's going to come out after that. Well, there was something else we were going to talk about, wasn't there?
We talked about The Witcher. We talked about... No?
I can't remember.
Princess Polka says, hi, long time.
Princess Polka, long time no see. How you been? Yeah, it has been a long time. Haven't seen you in a while. Busy life there. Let's see here. What else was there? We got the sound card. We got the headphones. Those guys are interested about the Liquor server. I am going to be posting up a video here soon. I've got another video I've got to edit. I've been meaning to do a follow-up video on my Mackie Mixer. I've literally been sitting on a cheap Chinese microphone that's a knockoff of the 58. Honestly, you can talk to the beard. I've had that microphone for a month. I just haven't been able to sit down and do it. My camera died. I'm literally having to borrow the beard's camera. The beard has been nice enough to let me borrow his camera so I can get some video work done.
The box for the mic that the microphone's in is still sealed. It's been sitting on the cabinet. He's been too busy.
I just haven't gotten to it. And every time I get a free night, it's been somebody's needed something or something at the office or stuff like that. So Liquor server's sitting here. It's literally sitting right next to me. You guys, it's off camera right here. Yeah. But yeah, it's sitting over there. I've got a couple of new hard drives for it. I got the new drive rails for it. I'm going to start cutting things. I'm trying to get a hold of a buddy of mine. I sent a message out to him. I'm trying to find an EATX motherboard for, excuses. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. I have been working on stuff. Unfortunately, I'm also a father, and I've also got a full-time job, and I got side work, so I make sure I get Tuesday nights done. That's my main priority is get Tuesday nights done, and then the other videos I get done, which I edit the videos on the weekends when my kids are here. Next week I'm taking some time off to get some video work done. That's another real thing. I'm really excited and looking forward to getting the Liquor server done. Like I said, I got the fittings here, and like I said, not excuses. Progress is being made. I've got the fittings, and I'm still not saying what these are for. I posted the images up on my Instagram and everything else. So you can go and see the stuff. And you guys go and check out my Instagram. I'm constantly working on stuff.
I know what those pieces are for, and it's going to be an interesting reveal. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's looking nice. It's looking nice. I've been taking a lot of pictures. Yeah, there's so many projects. Like I said, I'm going to get some done this week, if not next week. Tomorrow night, I got a friend over. Thursday night, like I said, if you guys don't want to do, I've been trying to do my Thursday, Sunday night Fallout 76 gaming nights, but there's a couple of games coming out, so me and Crazy Iris may be switching up to a different title. She doesn't know that yet. Maybe she just found out. Cheesy smile. Ting.
So. This is one of those moments when I kind of feel bad for those of you that are listening and not watching, because It's smiles like that just melt the soul.
It's not the fact that I haven't been drinking Happy Juice. I mean, come on now.
Princess Polka says, tell us. All right, I'll tell you. After he reveals it. Ha-ha.
Oh, so rude. Rude, sir. Let's see here. Yeah, we talked about the Netflix. We talked about the sound card. We talked about... I think I powered through that a little bit too fast. What was some of the other Nintendo stuff? It was kind of... yeah, Bowser outside his clown copter. He's got feet. There was a bunch
Zelda project. It was called Ura Zelda.
Yeah, I think it was the 64DD version.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much. Princess Polka, laugh, LMO. And I thought you was on our side.
Nah,
He's on nobody's side.
I'm on my side.
Technically, you're on your wife's side.
Depending on the day of the week.
Ooh, uh-oh. I think that's couch sleeping time.
I can't get Fallout 76, Amanda says, but I'll try to get the other games. The other games you want to play. I've got Dead by Daylight.
I checked that out. I wanted to play Dead by Daylight. I've just been avoiding the shocking horror. I've been trying to avoid these scary games lately. Not that I don't like them. I think they're great. I just been... Me coming home Thursday nights, I'm usually frazzled from the week. Especially this week. If anybody wants to know, I've been having to learn ESET. When you're going from one security management system to a new one, and the fact that the programmers of this software, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this stuff, but it sure wasn't, this should be intuitive. So you're constantly, every step of the way, you're retraining yourself how to think on how this stuff works. And I've been fighting with this. So tonight, like you guys notice, I've been a bit frazzled. And part of it's because I've been trying to deploy some new antivirus to a bunch of computers. Not even near me. These are like, in another state. So it's been fun. It's been fun. So yeah, I've just been frazzled. It's also been with everything going on and the law. Technically I'm an essential employee, which has been bothering me too. Everybody, I want you to be safe. I'm not going to joke here. If anybody's seen my images I post online, I keep sanitizer, a spray that you spray down, leave for 10 seconds, and it 10 minutes, and it kills everything on that surface, and then you wipe it off. Glorious stuff. We're special ordering stuff out of another country to wipe down our consoles. I've got gloves. I've got everything else. I work in a studio. If anybody don't know, I work in a radio studio with multiple other stations, a bunch of on-air guys, and we've had multiple scares. I've been trying to fight through it. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of you guys wonder why I go crazy about all this stuff, because I have come close. I've had people in the studios that we find out they're sick. I'm trying my best not to get sick because I don't want to bring it to my kids. To say the least, that if you guys want just a point of honesty, there's been a bunch of times I've been scared out of my mind. Like, my nerves are frazzled, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, because as much as I'm trying to be positive, I want to make this to be a happy show and stuff like that, just to be perfectly honest with everything going on, put your damn masks on.
Preach.
The only reason people don't put their mask on is because they're narcissistic people. That's it. That's the only reason. Putting a mask on says, I'm concerned with the other people around me. When you say, I don't have to wear a mask, it's because you don't care about anybody but yourself. That's the basics of it. I'm going to put it there. If you guys don't like me saying that, leave. I don't care. I've been through several scares. I know people stuff. I've seen the evidence where some people, even though they've recovered, are now permanently on oxygen for the rest of their lives because due to the damage that COVID-19 has done to their lungs. So please understand when I say, everybody, I want you to take care of yourselves. And I hate to bring this on the downer, I really do. But honestly, this is something that's been bugging me from where I work, people around me, and seeing village freaking idiots on social media saying it's not that big of a deal. It is. Take it seriously. Let's get through this quickly so we can return back to normal life. That's what I'm saying.
Please. Seriously. I
And
mean,
that's literally, it's why it's been so hard, it's one of the challenges it's been for the past couple of weeks. You know, one, it's a lot of work. The beard knows how much production work I do before. I do several days worth of production work, and as soon as we end the show, I've got another 2 hours of post-production I got to do for this show alone. Then to edit a video, it's, you know, a half-hour video is like 6 hours, 10 hours worth of work. I love doing it, but it's been really hard to do that kind of stuff I love because the constant scares with people being sick and not taking it seriously.
And understand something. I'm just going to come right in here and say something real quick. I've seen a lot of people with the whole, it's got a high survival rate. Great, it's got a high survival rate, but they're still learning about what it does to your body after the fact. They don't know. We don't know. And I'm not going to take that chance.
No,
Ray
they're learning. Basically, certain people, they'll come out of it unscathed. There are some people. If you want to go find out, Ice-T, the rapper, the actor, artist, you name it, his father-in-law was in the hospital for it. And he has already tweeted, his father-in-law is now on oxygen for the rest of his life because of the damage that it did to his father-in-law's lungs. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're not careful, it will hurt you. I just want everybody to be safe. I don't want anybody affected by this. I want us to get through this fast, quickly, so we can get back to a normal life. But in order to do that, we have to take certain precautions now. A couple of little extra, you know, putting on a mask, wiping things down, stuff like that. We'll get through this. We'll get through it quickly. If you're going to be stubborn, ignorant jackass and think that, you know, am I right? It's like, no, it means just you don't care about anybody but yourself. You don't like being inconvenienced. And honestly, you're less of a person for it. And I'm going to be an a-hole for saying it. I don't care. I'm tired of seeing people get sick because other people don't care. Or people getting sick because they could have taken a couple of minor precautions and they chose not to. And they've possibly exposed other people. And that's what's happened around my work. People just not caring about the others around them.
Oh, I don't have to worry about it. I'm healthy.
All right, get back to this.
But
all right, so Amanda says it's $40. Yeah, no, the Steam put switching gears. Let's go back to something positive. Fallout 76. Fallout 76. Yeah, it's been was $39 on Steam for a while now. Whenever it got released on Steam, it was $39. And they currently have a sale. If you pay for I think it's the $5 for 500 atoms, you get an additional 800 atoms and a couple other goodies. I still have yet to bite on that little purchase atoms thing. I've gotten really close, but honestly, there really hasn't been a whole lot of extra goodies in the Atom Store that I really wanted. And I know what they do is they do that whole entice you, like, hey, this is only going to be here for a short period of time, but it's still usually just garbage, so...
You know, that whole, it's only going to be here for a short period of time. I see something like that, and I go, then get rid of it. Because if it's not worth keeping around that long.
Plus, if you play long enough, you'll get atoms in the game. Like, I've bought a few things from the Atom Store, and it's been from completing quests and stuff. Or daily achievements and stuff, so. All right, I think it's that time of the show because my glass is empty.
So is mine.
Yeah. On the empty glass note... because that's a sad, sad place to be. We're going to end this note. Anyway, everybody, stay safe. Put on a mask. Think of others around you. Take caution. Play some happy games. Sooner we can get through this, sooner we can get back to normal life. That's really, it's like, this isn't about mind control. This is about everybody looking out for each other, concerning for each other, and then trying to get through this problem as quickly as we possibly can. That's where we need to be. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully things will be a little bit better. I know I'm hopefully going to be taking a little vacation after next week's show, but not before, unfortunately. I really need to. I want to. Not going to. But for those who say we're going to get this out, let's see here. Menaduke, stay safe, guys. Let's play some games sometime. Glad to be on. Yeah. Thursday nights, those of you guys who follow, Thursday nights and Sunday nights. That's gaming night. Me and Crazy Ice, but other people are welcome. You can join in the Discord, or you can join in on Twitch, twitch.tv/AUDIOCRAZ. That's where I do my gaming Thursdays and Sunday nights. And commonly we're playing Fallout 76, but if something else comes along, we'll find out. Crazy Iris, you can you can see if there's anything good coming out, but if not, let me know. I know there's a couple of games. There are a couple of games that are going to be coming out in the future. I'm trying to remember which ones they are. There's one me and my daughter. Oh, The Grounded. That's another game that just got announced from Obsidian that I want to play. Me and my daughter is, because the one thing was saying, he's like, there was like, feed your friends to the spiders. And I was like, crap, my daughter is going to feed me the spiders.
Yes. I'll play it just for that.
The whole premise of the game, think of it like ants. You're humans that are miniaturized, and you're in the backyard.
Nice.
And you're trying to build like leaf houses and stuff like that, and you're fighting off all like the ladybugs and the spiders and everything else. Yeah, ants.
Yeah, Amanda says, I want to play that. My friends want to play that too.
Yeah, definitely. So it's called Grounded. Look for it on Steam. If you go to our Facebook page, go to AudioCraZ.com or NerdCaveShow.com. There's a link to the Facebook group page. If you've got a Facebook account, and there I posted a link to it, but if not, look on Steam. It's Obsidian Entertainment and Grounded, or just do a search for Grounded on Steam, and you'll go to it and add it to your wish list. It's supposed to be coming out here real soon, and I'm really interested in checking it out. I'm definitely going to, as soon as it drops, we're going to be playing it. Me and my daughter may be playing it over the weekend, so. You saw it for Comic-Con? Yeah, I know. It looks so freaking good. Anyway, on that note, we need to get out of here because I think we're running over a little bit over.
A little bit over, not bad.
No, we're doing good. We're doing good. Anyway, I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see you guys next week. Be safe, game on, and all that wonderful stuff. And don't forget to squeeze your Shy Guy.
And
night, everybody.
on that note, good night.